again.
Look in the middle until it's done.
Suspicion confirmed. It's crazy.
You can find me on DoorDash, and hopefully you get me.
You rubbing that knee is nasty, nigga. That's nasty.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were acknowledging that you were of the elder race too, but you can find me at
The elder race. Fuck. It's giving me everything I need. When Cyclops said, "Give them the forecast," I got wet. I did.
All right, Zelmay, you're under her. You're next.
Yes. I mean, chicken.
Wait a minute.
Yo, what is good? It's your boy, Monray Hudson, back again with another wonderful episode of Make It Make Sense, the podcast. And today we are a dastardly duo of diabolical decision making because I am joined by the one and only representative of the Lakers flagship channel, Unico Williams.
Hello, Monray. Thank you. We are outside in Houston on the heels of Game 4 after exciting Game 3. How are you today?
I'm relatively good, all things considered. Boston won yesterday, so it renewed a little bit of my faith. I'm cool. Well, today I figure, it's nothing but sports. And since the NFL draft and things will probably be discussed on Overall 99 Media, we'll have that show on Tuesday talking about the draft and other things come football. I figure we're knee deep into basketball. We might as well discuss basketball because a lot of people's playoff predictions and thoughts and things have gone awry. So I figure we might as well spend this wonderful show today talking about these. Some are good, some are bad, some might feel very sorry for you. So we'll just, I guess we'll look up here, work our way down. Earlier today, actually, matter of fact, just now, we start with the first series of OKC going up a dominant 3-0 on the Suns. And this is one of the series that's going pretty much how everybody expected, whether it would have been the Warriors or whoever would have showed up at this spot. Most people figure OKC would have dealt with them quite easily. And it is happening quite easily, how we figure with them. The thoughts of Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks might have been gone a little bit under now because of how it's gone. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, my apologies, is of course killing them. And so it's just, it's just not pretty. SGA is averaging 31 points. He's killing. Book is averaging 26, but seems to have been in many losing efforts. They've basically been blown out or close to it, double-digit wins by the OKC in every single game. Even including today. Today they still won 121-109. It still wasn't relatively pretty. They still don't seem to have an answer to stop OKC and their offense in any way. The defense has just been murderous. Your thoughts, Unico Williams, on this series? I feel like you may have some thoughts on Devin Booker as well.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say Texans, nasty work. What's nasty work? Why did the rich get richer? What's wrong? Y'all really love defense that much? So since I'm sorry, we're not quite to Houston. I'm sorry, but the Texans, that was nasty work. Don't take great defensive tackles. Anyway, after y'all so amazingly great, they said they're going to be averaging, giving up 10 points a game and putting up 13 points a game. That's what they're saying the Texans' future are. But on to basketball. We love narratives around here. That's what we do. We push narratives. We start our own storylines. And one of my favorite storylines to hold on to at this very point right now, especially considering the series, I am waiting for the Dylan Brooks legacy game that cements where it just shoots him off, Pauls, all the way into the stratosphere of what it is to be Dylan Brooks, Dylan the villain. He's holding up his end of the bargain. Today, 33 points. And he wasn't no free throw merchant. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. So, I mean, he's not going around flailing his body, doing what he can to get free throws. Let me check on Shai. What did he do today? Well, he just had 12 attempts at the free throw line. Nothing crazy like 17 or 26 like he usually gets. No in between. It's either 17 or 26. So this was a down day for him. But Devin Booker, you are exposing yourself right now as being a phenomenal number 2. The jig may be up. You did a very good, what they should say, perpetrating a fraud. They used to say that back in the 90s. That's what's happening right now. Somebody that we alleged to be a number 1. Was it really Devin Booker or was it really Chris Paul? Was Chris Paul really the number 1 during that run? Some would say so, although, listen, Devin Booker, I understand they did you bad last time. They giving you texts and saying we did nothing wrong, but rescinding texts. I don't know what's going on in this series. I don't know what the NBA is doing, but they definitely don't want the Suns to go off. But, man, shout out to Dillon Brooks for playing. They tried to get him in game 2, right? Would have been game 2. What was the last game? Not today's game. Was it game 2 or was that game 3?
That'd be game 2.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so game 2. I mean, they tried to get Dillon up out of there with 3 early fouls. By the time you get into the third quarter, he's got 4. He still balled out the best that he could, despite the refs being against him. They try to hit D Book with a few. And this has a lot to do with probably the next playoff series that we're going to talk about. But I need OKC to kind of Phoenix get 1 win, please. We need all the rest we can get. We cannot start the next round on schedule. We can't go off, please. I need more rest, right? Because LeBron. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say. What's your thoughts? Man?
Well, I will say I was off the Devin Booker hype train probably the year after they made it to the finals. Right after that year, I was pretty much off of it because I just
1 year.
I mean, the year after, yeah, like the hype train of Dillon Brooks can be the guy or maybe the best person on a championship team. I just gave up on it afterwards. The year after, when it just wasn't changing or something, I gave up after that point. So I wouldn't. It really didn't surprise me as much when it comes to this. Everybody was like, okay, I've given up. D-Book is a good player. He's definitely a good player. He's had great moments, offensive barrages. It just don't seem like this is the series. I ain't gonna say he's not the player. I'm gonna say this just don't seem like this is the series, or just he doesn't have the ability to elevate this team to that level. Shout out to Dillon Brooks. You said Dillon Brooks gonna have a legacy game, quote unquote. I mean, this was pretty much close to it. It's one of his best games of his career, probably. 33 points. And a must-have game to extend their series. And at home, is like he did the best he could, and just. This is Devin Booker's worst game of this series. Not only be able to put up 16 points, it wasn't pretty. So I mean, they're done. I didn't have a lot of faith in them coming into the playoffs. I was surprised they made it to the playoffs. But, I mean, just considering like the bottom tier of the West is pretty rough, but I'm surprised they made it to the playoffs. And regardless of which one they would have went against, I feel like this would have been the outcome. It wasn't pretty.
Something else to take note of is also, I mean, in this game, I mean, what Phoenix lost the first quarter by 5, the second quarter by 4. They won the third by 1 point and then lost the fourth quarter by 4. So, I mean, they like right there, but you can't lose every quarter because that accumulates into losing the final total.
It really just seemed like OKC got out to a lead and then cruised the rest of the way, and the Suns just weren't able to close that gap. And like I said, I'm not surprised. The Suns are a very middle of the road team right now. They're not bad. They're not bad enough right now to tank, but they're not good enough to really compete. You always hate to have teams be in those kind of middle roads, but sometimes you have to be there. So I just next season, Book might end up getting traded to some other team for not too much. And we'll see how it goes. But right now, this team ain't got no future or nothing. It's all good. But speaking of the future, when we go to the next series under that one our representative Laker fan here is most happy and proud of, and I will be one of those to admit, and I apologize. And I'm pretty sure the basketball world apologizes for overrating the Rockets team as of right now and underrating the Lakers. And shout out to JJ Redick. They've been able to do great work when it comes to coaching, getting the most out of people like Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, Just LeBron being able to be LeBron, but not necessarily having to be the LeBron of like the Cleveland Cavalier day where he had to average like 40, 12, and 15, something like that to get the win. It hasn't really been a series needed that, and it's been more so just being honest because the Rockets more or less have beaten themselves for 3 games. It's just really been sad to see that the Rockets do have some talent, but like we've said, these are 2 flawed teams, but flawed teams for 2 different reasons. The Rockets are just flawed team because their offense just does not seem to be able to stitch together 4 complete quarters of basketball like efficiently. It's just they have gaps or they have times where it does not go right or pieces don't fit together well. Like Şengün looks amazing last night, but it's also times Şengün don't seem to be able to defend well. Amin Thompson looks great last night. It also seems to be times Amin Thompson can't buy a basket. Tyrell Eason, we wonder what happened to him. We look at it just like it's parts of this team that have talent. We look at Ime Udoka getting to the point where he has to, shout out his own team. Like I don't know if he's youth or just not being up to the moment. It's like, but you're the coach. You like I understand coaches sometimes do have to bust out their team when it's the truth. And it just last night was just an example of like there's no way up 6 points, 30 seconds to go, and the ball, and you find a way to botch that game. It's just unreal. Jabari Smith Jr., like, oh my God. That hurt to watch. It really did, because that's essentially the whole season going up in smoke. And you don't have Kevin Durant, who you traded for because it's a really unfortunate knee injury to practice before the game, and he hasn't been able to play 100%. So it's gonna get ugly this offseason. Decisions gonna have to be made. Somebody gotta get the blame. It's bad. It's bad. I'm talking about the Rockets primarily because I know our Laker fan is gonna talk about the Lakers. So it's ugly. It's really ugly. It's almost like the Warriors series last year, where it's like the Rockets on paper have better players and more talent, but they just do not seem to be able to live up to the expectation or the moment. And they just fell apart. And this is how it went. Laker fan, what do you think of this series that y'all are commandingly up 3-0 in a series most people figured y'all would lose in 5?
I'm gonna be professional here, as professional as possible. I'm not going to be biased in any means. Damn that. Listen, all right. I turned the game off last night, okay? I did. I turned the game off. As a diehard Laker LeBron fan, I turned it off. But I'm glad you apologized, Monterey. I'm glad you apologized, because there's more apologies to go around. You know who else needs to apologize? That old group chat of ours, old man cave. The whole damn group chat needs to apologize. Oh, it's not because I'm right about this or anything like that. No, I have my own narratives that I'm pushing about the Lakers, LeBron. I'm being a fan. But for me to wake up after going to sleep, because I was that depressed. Yeah, I went to sleep. I turned the game off, went to sleep. I didn't even watch the Portland game until this morning. For me to wake up and just a whisper about the Lakers and how they even I had to look at the highlight to see that steal and that 3-point shot to tie the game to bring us into overtime. And I'm looking at that group chat, and all y'all got to talk about is the fucking Spurs. Huh? What? Y'all, all that greatness that y'all just seen from LeBron James, who played 45 minutes at 41 freaking years old, leading the team in points with 29, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. And that's what y'all want to talk about, fucking Castle and Ron Harper's son? Boy, I was upset. So that's who listen, shout out to the Lakers. Like I said, I'm gonna be a real one. I did fall. I turned that game off. I said, I can't wait to go to sleep. Forget this. I was thinking about what song to put in the background of We Lost Today. But instead I got to play Kanye West, Flashing Lights. He don't believe in shooting stars, but she believes in shoes and cars. That's what happens in LA. That's what we do. So we won the game. I got to make a very happy reel today. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, UNIQO Williams. And we all right. And we don't want to stretch this series any further. We don't want to go back to LA unless it's just to go home and wait for OKC hopefully to win the series 4-2. But week. I need y'all. I need that. I need 2 wins out of y'all, Phoenix. I need rest. Okay, I need rest. Shout out to Rui. I want to give Rui a big shout out. He stepped up in a big time. Also, no shout out to DeAndre Ayton as it pertains on paper. On paper, he does do some things that him being physically there is good for us. But you're giving me Roy Hibbert games, sir. You can't have 2 points in 33 minutes of play. You can't do that. You cannot have 6 rebounds. If you're going to have 2 points, you can have 15 rebounds, sir. I'm sorry. You cannot just be out there and just put out 2 points as the Lakers starting center. I'm sorry. But a shout out to Luke Kennard and shout out to Marcus Smart. I'm glad that we got him. I think we got the Celtics version of Marcus Smart, maybe a better 3-point shooting version, but that defensive monster is there. And I appreciate him being on this team. So, man, shout out to them. And, heads was going to roll if we lost this series. So, I mean, we already talk about some heads rolling when we get out to the East. Who might be in the midst of right now, currently playing, might be heads rolling right now, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's where we at, Lakers. Shout out to the Rockets. One thing, I'm gonna be done with it right here. KD, you duck and smoke, but obviously you're not 30 years old, so you're not gonna play through injury and stuff like you were in your prime. I get that, but your whole job is just sit around, not carry the ball. And honestly, I'm almost ready to apologize to you, Monray, for arguing with you about his ability to play point guard. Because after 9 turnovers the other day, yeah, I wouldn't ask your ass to play point guard either. But there's another side to that, is that who is he passing the ball off to in double teams? This is not like NBA 2K where you can just kick it out and you gonna green it. It's, can you depend on your teammates to green bean those shots? So there we have it. That's my thoughts on the series. Go Lakers.
I mean, shout out the first things first. Like I said, yeah, he had 9 turnovers. 3 of them wasn't really his fault. 2 of them, he throw it to somebody. He supposed to catch the ball. Of course, they don't catch the ball. So, okay, cool. One of them, I think, was Amir Thompson. Like, come on, man. Like, so, but yeah, 6 turnovers on his first game back. You know, he wasn't 100%, knee injury still messing with him, but he tried to force it out. It wasn't pretty. And like I said, you shout out to Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is not supposed to be a 20-point per game scorer against your team. That's just not. It's not how that's supposed to work. Marcus Smart is not supposed to average 20 points. Luke Kennard is not supposed to go off for 30. These are point totals that the members of the Lakers team are not really supposed to be doing to a team that is known for defense. Like the Rockets are a good defensive team. They're not supposed to be doing this. So it's more of like, what is really going on? But it's just, like I said, just you talking about heads gonna roll. Boy, heads might roll if they get swept. Right? They're not supposed to lose this series, let alone go out like this. So heads might roll now because Udoka's probably mad because he's like, bro, I'm on the hot seat now because of this mess. Because that'll be 2 back-to-back years where you've been able to do great in the regular season. They were a number 2 seed last year before they had the expectations, and then they got to be the number 2 seed. And then there was a 5 seed this year, where they got Kevin Durant, but decisions with general managers didn't go well. They decided not to address the point guard position. That was a great need for their team that is showing themselves ugly now because their offense just seems to be scattered and all over the place. It is what it is. We move on to another series seems to be scattered and all over the place. We have the Nuggets.
My goodness.
Very, very early team favorite to make it to the championship, struggling with their arch rival team, the good old Minnesota Timberwolves that they hate, just like, and I can't blame them because Minnesota Timberwolves, if I had to pick a team that seems to be their matchup nightmare, definitely that team. Definitely that. Like, they can't stand the Minnesota Timberwolves because they have a lot of things that just annoy the team makeup that is the Nuggets. We'll give you first crack at it, Nico Williams. Your thoughts on this matchup that currently Minnesota is up 2-1 game 4 this evening.
Listen, man, I when I hear Minnesota, I just automatically have, especially going into the playoffs, I automatically just have this stigma about them that it's Minnesota. I always forget that they have players. I forget that, and all I can think about sometimes is Ant Edwards. But I mean, I'm from the past of Rashad McCants, Latrell Sprewell, like Kevin Garnett. Like, I'm just like, I don't expect nothing out of them, but. And then to have somebody like Gobert on this team, I just forget about them often. But, man, the Timberwolves, once you lock in and you get to the playoffs, man, you are looking at, man, that boy McDaniels can ball. Okay. Obviously you're gonna have your Ant. And listen, Gobert's out there looking like the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain. Offensively, at times out there against Joker. So I forget how talented this team really is. Now, Jamal Murray, we said before the series started, we said Jamal Murray is going to be the X factor. He is being exactly that. He's giving you the 30 points a game. But it's a whole different ball game when, you know, Luka can't really show up the way that he really wants to. So, I mean, Minnesota's doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Despite, you know, I think and still have some nagging injuries, but I mean, this team got confidence. I've been to the Western Conference Finals, 2 years in a row, right?
Close to it, yeah. At least 2 out of 3 years.
So, I mean, because you took down Curry and LeBron in one run, and you know what I mean? So they feeling good, and they can always take down Joker type stuff. So, shout out to them. Timberwolves, I don't know honestly, shout out to y'all for doing as good as you have done, but on paper and watching the game, I mean, y'all not that great either. I mean, nobody's just thinking you're overwhelmingly great. It's just that you guys pull out games in the season, especially from monster stats coming from Joker. But man, you get into the playoffs, especially against that kind of matchup. Because I mean, hey, Gobert does have 4 defensive players of the years, and I mean, I think he's about to pass that torch to Wemby at this point. But because I mean, who else do you give it to every year? So you know, that being said, sorry for your Nuggets, but I mean, y'all toast. It's looking like I think Ant's not going.
I'm gonna go a bit of opposite route. I really think this is just more of a matchup nightmare, rather than just a team being outright better. Because the Timberwolves have played the Nuggets, I want to say 3 straight years, ain't there? At least 2-3 years. But they've played each other so much in these playoffs. I think it's 3 years. They hate playing them because they have a center that's just as tall as Jokic that doesn't have to focus on offense at all. Like they don't use Gobert for offense. Then they have other centers and other tall people, whether it's Naz Reid, whether it's Julius Randle. They have people that just annoy Jokic. They can just throw people down there like, just annoy him. Like, just do whatever you got to do with them. So they have Jokic basically has a lot more to do in this kind of series, but still has to generate offense. And yeah, Jamal Murray is more of an X factor. That's true, because they need his scoring on that outside perimeter. Now, Ant can also play defense, mug, and everything of that nature, but they need Jamal scoring to be able to be efficient in this and give Joker some space and stuff, just like they need Christian Braun. They can't win this series without Aaron Gordon. Like, Gordon did not play last game. When he didn't play last game, and Jamal Murray and Jokic and everybody on the team just like they couldn't buy a basket, so they got blew out. They could not buy a basket. Many of them were 0 for 3, 0 for 1 from 3 at all. Just couldn't make a basket. And without Aaron Gordon being that Swiss Army knife to be able to do some of everything with the scoring.
That's right. He was out.
They need him to win. If Aaron Gordon's not playing, they're losing 5 or 6 games. They can't win without him. So hopefully it's just like a bit of a rest time. He's able to come back. But even with Aaron Gordon, this series is ugly just because it's a matchup nightmare for them. They have all the defensive pieces that they need to fight them. Because the Timberwolves are a weird team. They're a team that's not amazing or dominant in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they're like a nightmare for most people to play against. So it's just weird. But I say the Nuggets, they need their offense to flow. And it's certain times their offense just gets stagnant or something of that nature. Like if shots aren't going in, they aren't able to generate offense or move the ball around. Or somebody able to make a couple of plays that's not Jokic. Then it sort of stagnates sometimes. And it can't stagnate when they're known for their offense throughout the regular season. They're known for their offense, period. Just this particular matchup is a nightmare. And I'll be respectfully, Ant ain't even really gotten wicked or loose yet. Ant really hasn't done much the majority of this series quite yet. Like I said, he was dealing with that nagging knee injury and stuff. But even with that, he hasn't really done much this series. He had one 30-point game in game 2, which is great for him. Other than that, he had 17 points in his last blowout. He had 22 points in game 1. He hasn't really had to do a lot, but they've still been able to take control of the series. So it's a lot that has to go on. I hope Gordon's able to come back. If not, this might get real wicked real quickly because they need Gordon. That's their quote unquote third main piece, that's able to do a lot for them. He can score, he can dribble, he can do what he need to do, he can catch rebounds, he can help defend, he can block. He can help bail out Jokic down low sometimes, just a lot. They need him. Otherwise, it's just going to be 3 7-footers or close to it. 3 6'7" people and taller just mauling on Jokic down there and be like, hey, make one of your other people score 30 or something, because it ain't going to be you. So they need help from the people on their team. Like, somebody got to step up. Somebody got to help out. Otherwise, it's going to get ugly tonight, going back into Denver for Game 5. So we'll see what Game 4 shows. And now, representative of our Spurs fan, he was talking about the matchup and everything.
Before you get into him, before you let him on this damn panel.
He ain't on here, don't worry. I was just saying, like.
Oh, I was about to say, before you lay his ass on, I want Joker. 7 for 26 is crazy. You can't do that. As big as you, 7 for 26 is Kobe desperation games. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody as Joker, as tall as he is, the only reason you should ever be 7 for anything is if you like 7 for 13, 7 for 12. 7 for 26 is abysmal at your height, at your size. You win this game if you go, hell, even 12 for 26. You win this game. This is unacceptable. Can't happen. And then you let 17 attempts go to Jamal Murray. Everybody else is shooting 2 and 4 and 3 attempts. That's insane. If I know that Joker and Murray's just taking all the shots, what do I got to do on defense? So that's where I'm at.
Probably they're one of the two people that can probably generate their own shot more or less. Gordon can do it by himself more or less decently, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's just up to them two, because the other people around there, like Cam Johnson, they don't really use him that way to try to generate their own shot. Christian Braun don't really necessarily do it that same kind of way. So it's a little ugly. And we were talking about just how tall he is. This is an example of what I was talking about when they hate this matchup. Jokic is 6'11". Rudy Gobert is 7'1", and he ain't got to do nothing offensively. So I got a 7'1" man that's 2 inches above me, hugging my shoulder for 48 minutes. Man, they got to do nothing. They're like, bro, Rudy Gobert, go chase him after 3-point. Like, we don't need you. You ain't gonna do nothing anyway. Like, bro, that's literally all Gobert has to do. It's like, and now there are times, like I said, Jokic is gonna posterize them or humiliate them offensively with some good shooting nights. This just was not one of them. So what I'm saying, like, they hate this matchup. I'm so sorry, Nuggets. Because if it was any other team of these 7 teams, the Nuggets probably would be doing a lot better. This one, yeah. But speaking of somebody who would be doing a lot better, we have the Spurs, the 2-seeded Spurs, who are basically the Rockets of last year, who shot off, and surprised everybody with how good they are, against Deni Avdija. If I say your name wrong, I apologize. Deni Avdija. And the nice Portland Trailblazers. No Dame Lillard. Mm-hmm. Dame's still recovering and stuff. And they are currently down 2-1. The Spurs up 2-1 at least. But this series is surprisingly competitive to a lot of people, mainly because the freak of nature that is Victor Wembanyama had a concussion on Game 2, or like second quarter Game 2, might be wrong. And he's still recovering from that. Concussions in the NBA are a little bit weirder than concussions in the NFL. In the NFL, you get a concussion. Typically, people have a solid chance of being able to make the next game, but those games are weekly. Versus a concussion in the NBA, because of the different nature of how they have to move and everything, what they actually have to do. Sometimes concussions can last, a few weeks. It just depends. And because they are in a hot playoff series right now, every game they miss, at least Victor Wembanyama misses, is crucial because he's the linchpin of that entire team. So now they are 2-1 on the series. They very possibly could be 3-1, 3 up or something. And so now they're going against each other. And now we look at people like De'Aaron Fox, who he was gotten for this exact reason. Like, you're the second star, you're the person with the experience, you're the bit of the vet, not older vet, but the person that's, we're getting to be able to come and get those 20 to 30 point barrages when other stars handle everything. And that ain't really happening. Seems like Fox is actually struggling in this series versus his other rookies and other young stars are stepping up to the plate. Dylan Harper is playing amazing. Shout out to him. And Stephon Castle doing very well as well. Like, they're stepping up, but this series is now turned into a grind. Mm-hmm. So, Inigo Williams, your thoughts on this newly competitive series. That's what it is.
I definitely would have liked for the Trailblazers to make it a little bit more interesting in this one, because now this is your opportunity to see how good you really are, because this is why we take the boy Wemby out of the MVP conversation right now, is because his team is really supposed to be that good. They won several games without him when he was out for a couple of week stretches, if you will. They're winning games with Wemby only playing 29 minutes a game. So the team is set up to be like actually pretty good on its own merit without Wemby. So this was a chance for the Trailblazers to actually kind of show like, all right, we here to play, and they should be making it way more competitive than it is. But like you said, it's a different ball game when you got this bevy of guards just coming from everywhere. And so it's like, I mean, it's only so much Denny can do. Scoot can only do so much. Even the vet, Drew Holiday, putting up 29, giving them vintage performances. This is supposed to be the time, but unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize in this last game and took that L. But the Spurs, they are supposed to be that good. Without Wemby, they should be a top 3 team in the Western Conference easily, I believe. So, but hey, I haven't got to see the Trailblazers play very often this year, given the lack of given to the fact that how ass they have been in the previous, 7 years without Dame. How many years it's been without Dame? So, that's really all I got. Spurs, you should win without Wemby, and you should still continue to be a dominant team. But Trailblazers use this series as a learning experience, see if you can do something. But I mean, hey, we might see a much tighter game or a W potentially, especially if you continue to get those kind of numbers from Castle, and you got Harper just putting up all those points. I don't know if you're expecting that from him, but there's so many people that can give you those 30-point games. And like you were calling De'Aaron Fox to the carpet, brother, this is supposed to be your time. You should be the 30-point guy. You should have 12 assists. This should be. But man, them young boys, they taking over. They might be like, shoot, who needs De'Aaron Fox at the end of this? After this all said and done, he could be a trade piece next year. So,
now them without Wemby being a top 3 team, I just don't see that. Them without Wemby, they would fight to be a top 6 team. I don't even know.
Really?
Without Wembanyama, this team would not be better than OKC. I don't think the way with the Lakers have been playing, especially the last 2 months of the season, regular season stuff, I don't think they would be better than that Lakers team. The Rockets, I think that's just debatable. I don't know how you look at them. The Nuggets, no. The Timberwolves, debatable. So I'm like, that's top 6 that we talking about. Them top 3, I think absolutely not. So, and that's just without Wemby, because Wemby is just he plays 29 minutes, but he's still like the guy on the team. He's such a force and a freak of nature that changes everything that you have to play about them. But with that being said, I wouldn't even be surprised if De'Aaron Fox came off the bench 1 or 2 games like this series. If they struggle, like they're only up 2-1. It's a good lead. But let's just say they go and they lose game 4, and De'Aaron Fox is starting and stuff, and he has another game like the last few games where he's just been struggling, and you see Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle going crazy. It's like, look, like, it ain't nothing personal, but you ain't got above 20 points this series, and these boys over here balling. We trying to win. So, and even with this, I wouldn't be surprised if De'Aaron Fox started coming off the bench next season, just because, they could trade him. I think it's hard to trade him. He just got the contract extension and stuff. I think it's hard for them to trade him. So I don't really see him going anywhere. But if he don't step up and be the second star he was supposed to be when he got traded for originally, man, you might be riding the bench. Because, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, they here. They here, they balling, they doing work, with the rest of them, So I'm just saying, like, I got 2 people, one doing 33, one doing 27, and you doing 18. They ain't the same. So I'm just looking at how it's gonna go. But we'll see how they do. And as far as Portland Trailblazers, I said Portland's, they was fine. They're doing well. I said Denny Avdia, I said this is gonna be his good measuring stick for him. He's playing against other rookies and other young stars, so people that he's gonna see in the Western Conference for years going forward. It's a good measuring stick for him. See how he does with him. But like I said, Drew Holiday is the veteran presence on that. He was doing his best to try to keep him in the game and stuff. Because Drew Holiday, while he is he's a great defensive player and a great defensive back, he's not necessarily used to doing offensive. Though he can, like, I'm not gonna, he can do it. He did.
He got the bag work for it.
Like he do. He just is not his main thing that he's known to do or role to do. But hey, just you gotta do it. He can definitely do it. He can definitely shoot. Get his ground game work going. Everything. Just
Olympic gold medalist, by the way.
He can do his work.
To the chagrin of some people, but Olympic gold medalist nonetheless.
And speaking of the team that used to be on, we'll go across the street to the east to the Boston 76ers series.
Woo!
That is quite interesting. I already knew that they were going to be a problem if we ended up facing them. The 76ers, that's another team similar to how the Nuggets and the Timberwolves have done, to where we faced them so many years, especially in recent memory. And it's always just a show, and it's been a show. Right now we're up 2-0. Happy for that. They had that BJ Edgecombe barrage in game 2 that made everything go awry. But otherwise, the teams have been doing pretty solid work other than those. Last night we had to grind out a bit of a win. It's close, but we were able to get through. Shout out to, of course, the Stars. Tyrese Maxey going crazy, doing what he needs to do, trying to do his best to get the team in there. 31 shots, though, is quite shocking. 31 shots. Is
this K levels of nonsense? Like 41.7 field goals.
It's sort of dilute for 31 points. It's like 31 points for 31 shots. It's like 31 for 31 is not really how you normally win games. No. If you shoot up 31 shots, we're expecting like 50 points like that. So it's just like, if he's taking that many shots versus, but now to be fair, Paul George got 14, but he was very efficient with his 14. He had shooting 50%, especially from 3-point line. He was 4 for 7, so it could have been like, he got him there. BJ Edgecombe went back to what you expect from rookies in this kind of situations. He didn't really shoot too well. But it's just like 31 shots is too many shots. Like, just too many shots to where if you're not just on fire, it's too many shots.
Yes, sir.
And it's just too many shots. And so I'm like, I don't necessarily think that was the way to try to get the game to win, but if he had to do what he had to do, then oh well. But it's not really the way they were going to win. So I'm looking at them and it's like, okay, they might have to try to readjust and see what they need to do to try to get, because it just seemed like as a team that they just weren't shooting well. Boston's defense seemed to do their job and hamper them a lot. And as far as Boston goes, the current two-headed monster, and I say current because, we weren't thinking of this coming into the season, so being fair, the current two-headed monster of Brown and Tatum doing wonderful work. Both of them played pretty much like they never really left off. Both of them had 25 points. Both of them had 25 points, both of them shooting relatively close to each other. So it was a good game. I am a bit concerned when it comes to Brown and the turnovers, because that is like one of the hampers I was always worried about with Brown. It just, he has a bit of a turnover issue sometimes. But other than that, they played well. I don't really have much to say about them. The one I'm going to get on is Derek White, because I just don't understand what's going on with it. I just do not get it at this point. Like, I know when we was talking about the trade rumors, when Boston was trading and getting rid of and changing their team around in the offseason last year, people was like, trade Derek White, this is the way. And I admit I was one of the main opponents that was like, do not trade Derek White. He is a Swiss Army knife. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can defend, everything needed. He had the Olympic representation above Brown, which, that's debatable whether it should have had or not. But regardless, I'm just saying, like, he was that guy that was helpful in all kinds of ways on our championship win and everything. Do not trade him. And now we look up to where conversations might need to be had about if something's legitimately wrong with him. Like, is he okay? Because he's just, he's averaged 17 points in the regular season, which when you are primarily, I say, somewhere between the second, third main person that's supposed to have the ball and score, so somewhere between him and Peyton Pritchard, whichever one you want to go with him. But then we get to the playoffs. So 17 points, okay, cool, because it was mostly everybody other than Jaylen Brown. Okay, fine. This playoffs has been abysmal. There's no other really way to spell it. Like, these 3 games, 11 points, 8 points, 10 points. That's not it. And it's not like he's not getting the requisite amount of shots. He's getting a solid amount of shots, solid amount of ball usage. It's just not.
Would you say he's third option right now? Is he third option?
Basically, that's what he was supposed to be. Now, it's like you want to put it somewhere between Peyton Pritchard, because Vucevic, I don't know how well he's moving, like come off injury and stuff. But just, yeah, he's primarily supposed to be the third option. I don't know what's going on with Derek White. I just don't know what's going on with him. He's not played well. He had a good game in these past 3 games. Hasn't even had a good showing. I don't know what's going on with Derek. I don't know if he's they're keeping an injury secret, because for some reason Boston has a history of keeping injuries secret. They did it last year when the meniscus injury with Jaylen Brown coming into the playoffs. They're not saying anything about that until after they got ousted from the playoffs. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they had an injury. I don't know if he's just in a funk. I don't know what's going on. But Derek White playing that way is not going to be able to get us deep in the playoffs. It's just not. We need him because, like I said, Tatum, though he's playing great and defying expectations when it comes to what you are expected to be able to do coming off an Achilles injury, I'm really happy for that. But they need him. Like, you are an integral piece of this team right now. Because this team really, to me, is more representative of the first finals run team without like a significant point guard presence and like the talent and ability of the team to be able to get them through. That's what this team reminds me of. They need White. They need White. And I'm just like, this is not, we can't depend on 31 for 31 from the 76ers every game. We can't depend on that. Like, yeah, and now defensively, he's still doing well. Their defense in Boston is great. I don't know what's going on there, White, bro. I just don't. I don't know what's going on with this man. I just don't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's on your side, sir. First of all, when we came into the series, I was like, 76ers, boy, I love to see them at full strength to see what they do against anybody, because this is not. Yeah, I'm glad we shifted over to the East. This is not just an any one team invitational. This is true basketball tournament right here. All these teams could come out of the East. I just all teams. This is very interesting. Like, and there was
except for the Raptors, I believe I can stand with that. Except for the Raptors, I don't believe in them.
I'll get to my narratives there at some point. We'll get there. We still have some old narratives from the early 2000s that I need to get through. I'm still, until somebody retires, I'm sticking with them until they retire. Shout out to Kuz, shout out to Brandon Ingram, but we'll get into that later. But this is what's on your side, brother. First of all, Maxey, you're taking 31 shots, but you are 2 for 2 from the free throw. That tells me what's going on there. You are not attacking the basket, sir. So shooting all those little fade to the side, mid-range jumpers and 3-pointers and stuff, that's cute. That only works 7 out of 31 times, brother. I mean, it's a beautiful play. It's a beautiful move when it works, but the thing is, you got to have a higher percentage that get to the basket, man. There's no reason you should be 2 for 2 from the free throw line. That's unacceptable. Shout out to Andre Drummond, because I was like, they just need size. And I forget, let's not forget, Andre Drummond was shout out to the Pistons, a number 1 overall pick, if I'm not mistaken. But he's definitely a lottery pick. Made a lot of money in his career. He ended up elevating his game throughout the years to actually incorporate a jump shot. So it's not a huge fall off from Embiid. So shout out to him. He's very surprised. I don't want to say surprising, because anybody that's a old number 1 pick, you can play. Shout out to Paul George, whatever. All right, 18. You need 40, brother. You need that. I think he went to the free throw line 0 for 0. Paul, you got to get in that lane and play with them if you're going to do this. Because understand, if you look at the Celtics, which is when they want to be Warriors East and everybody's jacking up threes, when you're going 3 for 12, but you took 9 of those 12 attempts, 9 of them were threes, you can understand why your percentages are going to be down. Get to that basket, y'all. This series, people are not getting to the basket. It's terrible. I'm looking at like the 76ers. Kelly Oubre, 4 free throws. Bona, 6 free throws. Maxey, 2 free throws. Andre Drummond, 0 for 2, but 2. Nobody's playing in the paint at all. Then you go over to the Celtics, 2 attempts. Tatum, 3 attempts. Kata, 4. JB, 6. Derek White, 4. Come on, man. Nobody's playing in this paint. It's a 3. So the games are going to be up in the air if you leave it to shooting like that. I'm sorry. Your game is going to be up in the air if you leave long rebounds. You know what that gets you? That can get you offensive rebounds, yes, but it can also get the defense chances to run out on you, especially if you don't get back on defense. So, I mean, it's hard to call this series, although shout out to one of my narratives. I'm pushing Jaylen Brown for president of the Celtics franchise. 25 points along with Jason Tatum. But it took Tatum one more extra field goal attempt, but it's okay. He's coming off an injury, so we'll give him an excuse. That's what I got for this series. It can go either way. If nobody's going to his free throw line and Max, I think Maxey jacked that game. That's what it sounds. I'm looking at it now, looking at the numbers, 31 shots. That's and you lost by 8, and y'all didn't go to the free throw line. Y'all gave this game up, sir.
It was relatively close for at least the first 3 quarters. I'll pay to. Like they didn't really pull away until like the very end of the game, and it looks like the Sixers are going. They're playing small. They're not really playing big lineups or anything of that nature. The Celtics are pretty much a standard lineup, working Vucevic back in slowly. But they're playing small, but just the amount of shooting is crazy. Like I said, they're not really going inside a lot. I guess without Embiid, they're just figuring just play a small ball lineup and go for it. But that game last night was just something to see. It seemed like the Celtics.
Why did Keita start? Why did he start? But then it was like, to start the second half, we'll go with Vucevic, in which who played the majority of the minutes for sure. But why did they start Keita?
Vucevic would be normally the starter just in general. I guess they just decided to start off with Keita for whatever reason. I'm not really.
Yeah, I was looking at when they did the lineups at the beginning. I said Keita for what?
But I said Vucevic, they're working him back in from the injury and stuff. He's primarily the one that would start, but I guess it's just working him back in anyway. So they just let Keita start off, get the game in the flow, and then just go ahead and put Vucevic in after the first.
That makes sense. I can rock with that.
But so we're getting them in the flow now. Speaking of some flows, hey, shout
at him.
Shout out to because
Stephen A. Ray.
Man, look, CJ McCollum, the man who got warm blood in his veins because man has no fear at all. Like that man, that's unreal. I can't believe the series I'm sitting here watching. You Nico Williams, you have first. I can't believe the series I'm watching. It's crazy.
Hey, bro, first and foremost, man, we got a lot of narratives. When my man, when that lady tried CJ McCollum on Twitter a long time, it's like, get us out the first round. And he said, I'm trying. And we're back when he's playing with Portland. I told y'all, I kept saying this. I said, CJ McCollum, career resurgence, redemption series for his career, his legacy redemption. Because, I mean, he was in Portland for a long time. He's on the same trajectory as Dame. Now you on a different team. They almost sent you to hell. And had you playing with the Wizards, right? He played with the Wizards for the majority, right? Or was it Pelicans? It was just the Pelicans?
My language. It was mostly Pelicans he was stuck with for a good chunk of years.
But you're still in hell. You're still in hell.
Yeah.
New Orleans is hell still. But, I mean, you just got better food.
It was basically every team after, if I remember right, he was with the Blazers with Dame. Every team after that was pretty much been rough ever since then.
And it was looking that way with the Hawks. I mean, it took for them to go on a crazy run after getting Kuminga. What was it? 15 out of 16 games they won?
Yeah, they had to go like a month or two straight without losing.
They've showed out and they got here and they're looking like a very interesting team. So with that, shout out to the Hawks. I mean, they got some of that trade stigma with them still got a little bit of that ice tray, New York hate behind him. But man, listen, now that we're actually getting to watch Hawks games on national TV, because that's something I wasn't turning to on any of my streams, like, ooh, Hawks play today. Didn't do that during the season. For what? I started paying attention when they got Kuminga so I could see what the hell is wrong with Steve Kerr and why you beefing with this young man. And I still don't see. Steve Kerr must have just wanted to just blow up the Warriors franchise, if you ask me at some point. So if I'm leaving, this whole thing is going down, but that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Kuminga. Now let's get into the real people. The Knicks, the people that actually have expectations, especially after last year. Y'all said y'all play too much. Okay, we got you a coach that don't play all day. Said that y'all needed extra help defensively. Y'all went and gave up 5. Now this is where I wish Zelmay was here so he could explain to us the worst trade of all time. But he is not with us. I'm sure he'll be here at some point. But man, yeah, the Knicks, if y'all lose right now in Atlanta tonight, currently, y'all the talk of the town on Monday morning. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Mike Brown, I never understood that coaching decision to get him because he's never been known to just be like a great coach, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm LeBron from the day he came into the league, my favorite player. Obviously, Kobe was still in the league, but I'm saying LeBron was my next up guy. So I watched that whole Brown tenure. They wasn't putting up 130 points a game. They was winning games like 93 to 89. Like they was just defensive games. So you got rid of Tibbs, who's supposed to be the defensive guru. You go get Mike Brown, but then where's your offense coming from? We don't know. And now y'all losing close games when y'all clearly have the star power. Now you got Luka East over there, aka Jalen Brunson, the new cone. He's definitely a traffic cone out there. Let's pick on him. Cat's doing some silly stuff. All right, Jose Alvarado, y'all used to be teammates. Stop trying to fight with CJ McCollum because you're getting cooked. I'm sorry, I just had to look over at my other screen real quick, but that's what's going on. Anyway, yeah, it's way too many stars on the Knicks. This should be 4-0 with a couple of close games in there, but the close games, they're losing them. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with this. Hey, I like a good Monday morning, especially after NFL, but an NBA Monday morning? Oh, I love those even better. When it's hell to pay, and I hope it's coming New York Knicks way because they got a bigger market and more hate. And I love Twitter on Saturday nights. I'm trying to tell you, so let's get it. Shout out to Atlanta. And yeah, they should have never took away Magic City Night. They have a Magic City Night the last 2 games, baby.
Well, like now currently Knicks are up 10. They're playing right now, they're up 10. It's just more of the expectation versus the reality sometimes. Like I said, the 2 games the Knicks have lost was a point each. They lost a point each of those 2 games. They lost 107-106 and 109-108 in 2 back-to-back games, which means in clutch time, the Knicks just for some reason were not clutch in those 2 games. And really just a lot of what keeps happening is it seems the last year or 2 years that when the rubber meets the fire, when the expectations get big, they just seem to not meet those expectations for some reason. They just seem to falter, and then blame got to get thrown around somewhere. Because last year, when they played the Pacers. Halliburton, the big expectation was, oh shoot, New York fans finna go crazy. They finally got over Boston, with the injury to Tatum and everything. And they thought, we finally got over Boston. It's over. We finna go up there and we finna kill. And then they get dismantled by Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin and Miles Turner, and they just get humiliated, and they get chased out of the arena, and they lose. Then this year,
memes were made. Memes were made from that.
The Knicks should be one of the top. They should be at the top of them, and the Cavaliers should kill, and the Pistons and Celtics still blaze past them in the standings. So it's like, okay, well, cool, we're in there. All right, but anyway, it's the playoffs time now. They should be one of the favorites. They're the number 3 seed. They just got a Hawks team they should have no problems with. I've seen shows the Hawks are just an annoyance for them and all that kind of stuff. And then they lose 2 back-to-back 1-point games. The last one just being horrid because, oh man, Brunson, I'm sorry. That was just really bad turnovers at the worst time and everything. But and then it also makes you look at the team makeup as a whole. People have been putting up Miles Bridges. They've been putting up Bridges. Lack of scoring, and it's just been like, oh man, like this is the guy y'all traded 5 first-rounders for. Yeah, it is. They pulled up Bridges, and they just like, oh well, yeah, this is who we traded for, and 5 first-rounders for. And it was like, Mikal Bridges. I'm sorry, not Miles Bridges. I'm thinking Miles Turner. But Mikal Bridges, and they just like, he's a very good defensive person. Yeah, you're getting traded, if y'all don't win this series. I'm telling you right now, you getting traded. Cat might get traded. Mike Brown probably get fired. I gonna say it, people that ain't gonna say.
Damn, after 1 year?
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they lose this series, and Stephen A put on a very, very inspiring rants about it because he's pretty much right. He just didn't want to say the names. I'll say them for him because heads will roll and people will need to get blamed. And I will be honest, anybody that's probably not named Jalen Brunson is liable to get put away from that team if they lose this series. Anybody not named Jalen Brunson. That includes general manager, that includes the head coach, that includes
Josh Hart
2 through 5. Position 2 through 5.
Yep.
May all get traded because like heads will roll if they lose this series. Because it's gonna be like, bro, you had a path to the finals last year, did not take advantage of it. They have a good favorable matchup on paper this year against some rookies and CJ McCollum, and they are falling short. Not getting humiliated because they don't lose by a point. They're falling short.
Yes, sir.
At home. And so now it's like, look, now the expectations are there. Like, y'all have to win this series. You have to at least get to the second round. If they don't, you think that Monday morning we just had a regular NBA basketball or something? Let the Knicks lose the series. The day after, you will see headline bulletins and everything. You will see people get fired. You will see immediate trade rumors. You will see everything because it is going to get ugly. Because somebody got to get blamed when a series don't go the way it's supposed to. Last year, the head coach got blamed. Now, it was debatable whether they should have fired him but, they fired him. Okay, fine. They got Mike Brown. They figured defense is going to be the better thing and everything. They still giving up 1 point game, horrible losses. Now, this is the game 4. This is the game that's going to be like, all right, either you win this game or Monday going to be really, really ugly. Well, the last game they lost, it was already ugly came Friday. They lose this game and go down 3-1. And it's only been, 8 or 9 teams ever come back at 3-1 in history? Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. Ain't nobody gonna have no. Matter of fact, even if they were to come back and win the series, 4-3.
You still on notice. You still on the hot seat.
Yeah, nobody would have any faith on them. Nobody would have any faith at all going forward in the playoffs. Nobody have no faith in them. We're like, bro, it took y'all 7 games to beat the Hawks. Nobody would have any faith in you. So we will see how it goes. But yeah.
Good news for the Knicks. Mikal Bridges is participating today. He has 6 points, so he's decided to join the team because we already know. I don't know what deal you get, but this bad showing, whatever trade they have to do for Mikal, they are going to get fleeced. Okay, I mean they'll want to get rid of Mikal and try and get some of their first round, some of those picks back somehow, some way. But who's going for that? I just saw this dude put up 0 points in the playoffs. I'm getting him for a luxury I'm fleecing the Knicks if I get a chance. And who doesn't want to fleece the Knicks? Just like if you get a chance to fleece the Lakers, you're gonna do it. So if you get a chance,
I don't even see them getting a first round pick, let alone getting the 5 back pay trade. I don't even see them getting 1. But regardless, anyway, we're gonna skip by them because, like I said, right now it's 41-31. Brunson already got 11 shots, so I'm like, all right, I see how this finna go. They finna try to run away with this game, but they're only up 10 right now, second quarter. See how it goes. Right now, I think they're currently on timeout. But we move on to another one that it's not the same feel because the Cavaliers have been just dominant of the first 2 games, and then last night they did end up losing the game. But the Cavs are up 2-1 on the Raptors, and it hadn't seemed particularly close between them up until last night's game where they got blown out the flow. So this may have more of a feeling of a home team looks dominant game because the first 2 games, the Cavs looked like they were cruising. James Harden was putting up great assistant numbers. Donovan Mitchell getting his buckets. Evan Mobley, all the rest of them looking fine. And then last night comes and Scotty Barnes loses his mind on the floor, goes up for 33 points. Joined by RJ Barrett, mind you, with another 33 points. So like they lose their mind. You got you got Colin Murray Bowles going off the bench with 22 points. So they just like, what, we at home, we finna lose our minds for a game. And that's 80 plus points between 3 people. Straight up. And it's just like, oh, okay, well, and they just were not able to respond. Really, they couldn't buy a basket. I'm talking about the Cavaliers now. They couldn't buy a basket. Donovan Mitchell, 7 for 16. He was 1 for 7 from 3. He couldn't buy a basket. James Harden, 3 for 10 from 3. He could barely buy a basket himself. He had the most points of the team. Like, just nobody else could get anything. You know, so it's just like, okay, well, you know, they just, you know, they didn't show up that game apparently. So now it's like, okay, we don't expect that to happen from Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, the rest of them, but you know, we'll see if it happens game 4. But now it just looks like home team dominance for this series, which gives it a little bit more of an interesting vibe. But you have some theories you want to share, Unigo Williams, about certain players.
Yes. First and foremost, I think we need the Cavs need more out of the great Dean Wade. I mean, you can't just they need more out of D Wade. They need more out of him. But listen, hey, I told y'all I started having inklings of interest in Scotty Barnes last season. I was like, I thought he was just a joke, and I was like, but I'm kind of interested. I'm intrigued. Hey, I'm becoming a fan of Scotty Barnes, but. Look at this Toronto team. They got several lottery pick players on that team. No matter what era they came from, some different. But RJ Barrett, they thought he was that guy back in the day when he was getting drafted. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. He is a part of my narrative that I was trying to push. I said that Brandon Ingram would be a better KD one day. That's what I thought when he joined the Lakers. I said, same body type, same kind of skill set. Just hasn't panned out. But I mean, hey, he's still young and he's in his prime, I would say. So I mean, I think he get 30 point per game season loading if he can put the weed down for a hot second. Because I think he'd just be out there just too high to take the game serious enough. Kind of like KD. But anyway, allegedly, KD, I don't need to be on a burner account. I do not smoke weed. You just sit in your recliner in your room and talk. But anyway, yeah. Now on to the Cavs though. Other than need more out of the great D Wade, they look really good, especially like the Evan Mobleys of the world. They look really good in those first 2 games at the crib. He's really been a meter mover for me, Mobley for sure. But I mean, James Harden and Donovan. I mean, Donovan Mitchell having 15. That's just weird. That's off to me. And I don't think that happens. That's supposed to happen very much. And then the fact that the Raptors put up 126 and you got Jared Allen, I think that the Cavs actually have a pretty decent defense. But they I mean, essentially, if you look at the stat sheet, I mean, it's a pretty well-rounded game for everybody. Everybody that was a major player had between 12 to 15 points. So I mean, you get deep into the bench like Max Strus and Jalen Tyson, they got 13 and 15 apiece. And then up top, you still getting 15 from Evan. You still getting James Harden still giving you 18. But I think that Donovan Mitchell 15, I think that's the catalyst. Even though he was 7 for 16, he didn't really even shoot that much. Kind of. I think what do you want? 22 shots out of him a game? How many do you want?
He's the main offensive component. So anywhere between I think like 20 to 27 shots, I think is fair. He's the main offensive component. Like, you may not want to trend towards 27, but I think really realistically anywhere between 20 to 25 shots is probably understandable for him.
Okay. So I mean, he didn't take very many shot attempts, and I think that changes the dynamic because you have more possessions where you actually scored and things have to change opposed to like missing shots and then the other team getting a chance. But yeah, I'm excited to see this next home game from Toronto. That's going to tell me a whole lot about this team. And, I'm hoping I see more out of Brandon Ingram. But again, the great D Wade needs to travel to Toronto too, man.
Yeah, to me, it just seemed like their shots was not falling and they pretty much packed that in really early. Like, okay, well, we ain't getting it today. So they just packed it in, which is sometimes games just got to go that way. We'll see how they do. Like I said, if it's the home team doing it, that's fine. But speaking of home teams, look, this next series.
Well, we have an actual result from today, by the way, right?
Oh, this next game here, boy, I can't even hold you. I've been able to be solid with my analysis and all the rest of them for these other 7 series. I can't even hold you. I can't call this anymore. I can't call this series now all of it at a time because the Magic have always been a fluky team. Just the series, this year, all that kind of stuff. They have talent, but they've always just been a fluky team. They've just been, hey, sometimes, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Desmond Bain come out and play like top tier all-stars. And then other times they come out and they play like lottery picks in their first NBA game. Like it just does not come together well. And 2 games out of 3, it didn't came together, and we sitting here like, what going on? Like, because this just look, they've had group chat discussions and putting the Magic on these kind of pedestals. Look, the Magic has always been a 5 to 17 for me. I've never thought at any point in this, before the series started, that the Magic was going to be the team to take it, even after Desmond Bain got traded for. No, I've never thought that, because to me, I felt like they needed more of a point guard presence to help get their offense to flow together well, consistently, and everything of that nature. I'm not finna sit here and get off of that just because they've gotten a 2-1 game advantage on the Pistons, which is a team they actually match up pretty well against because they play similarly. Like the Pistons are all, their offense all basically comes through one person, which is their point guard. So it's awkward because they square up on the point guard and nobody else on the Pistons consistently can generate their own offense like that. But sometimes it makes Cade have to take too much of the offensive pressure on himself. And that's just not the way that they win games. They win games by everybody putting forth their collective effort, offense flowing, shots going through and everything.
Offensively?
Yes.
I thought that the game plan was Cade is the offense. That's
so
what
Cade is the offense, but Cade is the offense. Like, he's the floor general. Best way I can say it. Cade is the floor general. It runs through him, but he is not the offense. Like, he's not like Donovan Mitchell. Well, okay, I need Donovan to get his 30, then we work around everybody else. No. Cade is like, okay, the offense starts with me and it flows through everybody, and then it'll come back to me. I can drive in, whatever it may be. If nobody is scoring but Cade, they have a problem because their team is not made to where Cade can take 30 shots and they'll win games. That's not how their team is made. That's not how the team is constructed. And like Tobias Harris being your secondary, like this is not going to work. Like, Jalen Duren, which they found it can generate offense relatively well in Cade's absence, has not been able to generate offense consistently this entire series. I don't know whether it's a combination of sometimes he's not getting a lot of shots in some games to where he's not making them in other games. He has not been able to be the second scorer that we thought that he had discovered when Cade was out for that month. So I'm boggled because this is not normally what the Magic do on a night-to-night basis. But if the Magic do this on a night-to-night basis, I don't know if the Pistons can handle this. I don't know. Like, and realistically, I did not have the biggest amount of faith in the Pistons anyway. I just didn't. But I didn't expect this. Like, people be wanting to sell them short. Look, the Pistons won 60 games. They are not a just lightweight team. Yeah, the East is weak, but they're playing the East. Like, it's not like they're playing the Western teams or whatever that I specifically have no faith in them against. They're playing the Eastern Conference that they've been dominant against the entirety of the year.
right.
They should have better showings than this in some instances. You should just have better showings. I'm boggled that this series is this ugly. Not like the fact it's competitive. It's this ugly. I don't quite understand. Like, it ain't like it's been games where they've come down to the last possession or some stuff like that. No, these 3 games ain't really been that close. All things considered. They just shout out to Zaya for joining us for this Pistons when he's one of the guilty of it.
Oh, that damn black and gray on.
This series just ain't been this close. It just hasn't. I like all 3 of the games ain't really been that close. There's been one team that's just been outright more dominant than the other, or the offense is flowing better and everything, and the other team just ain't there. And I don't get that from the Pistons when their team makeup is they're playing unlike the way they got him here. That's what I don't really get about the Pistons. But Zelmay, since you have joined us, we are on the final game. You can talk about the other series if you want to at the end of it, but the Pistons and the Magic, we're on that series, and I don't know how to call it anymore because I don't really understand what I am seeing from both teams. I just really don't.
And before he goes off, I just want to say, why is the great Isaiah Stewart only getting 12 minutes? What's going on?
He fouled up.
I mean, but
He almost got 2 techs in like 4 minutes.
Okay.
In a series where people gonna
It has
foul
something
back,
to do with it.
in a series that people gonna foul back, it's gonna be weird for him to be on the court. That's why they took him out. That way he didn't play much in the second half. But about this series,
Go for it.
shout out to Orlando for figuring out strategies on what to do and actually playing basketball. And like they did the whole season. Somehow they found Jalen Suggs. I don't know where he been the whole season. They found him, and he has made every shot almost. And I'm like, where have you been, sir? Before the series started, I made fun of him. I'm like, hey, we know Jalen Suggs ain't gonna show up, and he done showed up ever since. And by the way, people bring up when Philly beat them, they did that 100% on purpose to avoid Boston. I 100% convinced of that because they played completely different from that game to the next game against Charlotte. They 100% try to avoid Boston because they feel like they can beat the 3 other teams that they will have to play after that. So that was by design. And shout out to Paulo. He had a lot of great passes today. He almost had a triple-double. So shout out to Paulo.
I'm throwing like, bro, they do not have a dedicated point guard, and yet, oh my goodness.
Listen, Paulo was a point forward 2 years ago, and I said, and before this thing started, I said, listen, the reason I don't pick them is because unless we get Paulo from 2 years ago, which was a triple-double machine in the playoffs, which apparently he is now again, and Franz from last year, which if you watched it in the game, 100% was him. They got a chance with Desmond Bain hitting, what was he, 5 for 6 from 3, 6 for 7?
That man was 7 from 9 from 3.
Oh, 7 for 9.
Like, bro, that's not the magic that we.
I'm like, okay, if we get this team,
magic.
3 Rex.
this is the team I picked before the season to be the 1 seed, and then Paulo and Franz decide they don't know how to play basketball no more. Jalen Suggs can't hit a shot unless he at home because he's like 21% on the road and like 37 at home. So I don't know what he do on the road. But apparently, even on the road, he hit threes now. So that's interesting to watch. But Orlando is a really talented team, a very talented team, and a horrible matchup for Detroit because they the one team that if you want to cheat and play dirty, we will cheat and play dirty with you. So that's why Isaiah Stewart not playing because he's like, okay, Isaiah might get in a fight. And then we're going to get ticked that he ain't going to play next game. It's going to get crazy. And we don't need it. So he don't even play much. But I enjoyed today's game because they had strategy. We saw strategy. They trapped Cade off the pick and roll the whole game, and it worked well throughout most of the game. And then they figured out that if you run a pick and roll right after half court, they can't really trap as well. So he instantly attacked. So they had a lot of shots in the second half when they came back when off early shot clock, like 18, 19 seconds of points with him and Tobias Harris scored. At one point, they had 21 of 26 points in the fourth quarter. So they found a little strategy, worked well. It still worked well at the end. It just, at the end of the game, it ended up match up because they went small. That Franz happened to be Cade guarding Franz. He just shot over the top. And Paulo was just real strong at the end. And Desmond Bain hit some clutch threes to end the game. Like I said, it's a bad matchup for Detroit. They're going to have to play faster so Orlando can't set up defense on Cade to get Cade going because they're going to just trap him the whole game like they did the whole game, and it's going to cause problem for them because Jalen Duran did not get shots. He has had 24 shots in 3 games, and most of them come in the first half, and they don't give him the ball no more in the second half. In the fourth quarter, I think he touched the ball twice in the whole fourth quarter. Twice. And people are like, why his shot ain't going in? Why he's only 3 for 10? Well, if I have to take a shot after not touching, we're not talking about dribbling. We said touch.
I haven't touched the ball in an hour. In an hour in real life, I have not touched the ball.
Yeah, and then also you give it to me like, why you didn't make the shot? Well, dog, I'm just out here running and doing cardio right now. So the guy that scored 30 on Orlando in the last regular season game they played, don't even get the ball. He shot 4 shots in the first game, and none in the second half. He shot 10 and like 9 in the first half of this game, and he didn't touch the ball in the fourth quarter. By the way, me and your cousin was counting. We like he still ain't touched the ball yet. He just on the court. So they got to get him involved more because he's the only real other scorer. And Tobias out there, he played well today, actually. So he played very well in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter, him and Cade. But I still think Orlando just way too talented for them if they play well. Now, Orlando can still just hate their coach and go back to cussing their coach out like they did in the year and just fall apart. But right now, they're listening to him. They were nodding their head listening. So I'm like, oh, y'all don't hate him no more. So, because I know a lot of reports coming out that all the players hate him and all that, but now they seem to be listening and they seem to be working. So, shout out to Orlando. Y'all went through all the other series. I gotta give a quick sentence.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
finish.
let Unico go for this one. Then you can have the rest of the
Yeah, I was
series.
gonna say I'm gonna finish this one. I know you ain't put on your basketball uniform today. To not talk about your team. So I'm gonna just run through this real quick. then I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing. This what I'm taking out of this in this series. First quarter, 26-26. Fourth quarter, 26-26. They lost this game in the second quarter. Isn't that crazy? Like this game was really evenly matched, except the second quarter, Pistons 28, Orlando Magic 35. So just a 7-point difference is what changed this game. And it was happening in the second quarter. After that, neck and neck game, because even in the third quarter, it was 25-26. So, I mean, this game was really even. And this is where you're talking about with Detroit. You're supposed to be this defensive juggernaut, and you're getting outscored. And that's why I don't have that kind of, and never have defensive teams. I never really have a lot of faith in, especially going into the playoffs. And I do the same thing with the NFL, is because all it takes is just for you to crack that one good time, and now you hit, because your offense isn't ready to make those kind of runs to blow teams out or to make those kind of runs to where you can win a game if your defense is failing you. So it happens when you are a defensive team and you have no other offensive options, which when you look at it, man, you do got Tobias Harris. And I never said he was a scrub. I think he's a bucket getter for sure. I think it did come down to Jalen Duren. You're used to him getting those 20-some points, but for whatever reason, Asor Thompson had to pick up that scoring slack. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miami Heat for fleecing yet another team, making people think they're good. Because what the hell is Duncan Robinson doing? What? Man, I'm telling you, that man down there, the Mafia Don guy down there in Miami knows what he's doing when it comes to making people look like they're capable basketball players, and they go somewhere else and they ain't shit. So there's that. Man, we need more out of the great Kevin Huerter as well. I mean, I know he's good for a good 15 points every now and then. He's not getting it. So, damn, Karis LeVert done fell off that bad. Karis LeVert is on this team, y'all. Karis LeVert, I had him at one point being the savior for the Pacers at one point from a scoring standpoint. He's not getting no burn. What's happening here? What happened to the great Karis LeVert? So that's all I got on this. Pistons. I don't, and Zelman and I, we're going to address this. We're going to have a heart-to-heart on Tuesday, I believe, more than likely. When was it Monday?
Whose game?
The next Pistons game, because it's going back to
Monday, yeah.
To Detroit, right? So, yeah, we'll have a heart-to-heart on Tuesday, and we'll talk about this. But I mean, Detroit is the most fraudulent. And it's not their fault. I'm not saying y'all frauds because y'all was like, yeah, we the best team. Y'all frauds because y'all really wasn't supposed to be number one seed. Like, y'all not supposed to carry that pressure of a number one seed, because I never saw y'all as a great team like that. Like, there's a difference between legit number ones, because we saw in the West, there's two legit number one teams where you're like, hey, this is the OKC/San Antonio Spurs Invitational. Nobody's calling this the Detroit Pistons Invitational, because these teams 2 through 8 can beat you. I'm sorry. They can beat you. And they could be nasty beatdowns too. It could be gentlemen sweeps, actually, from each and every single one of these teams. I mean, Toronto might beat you 4-2. Like, that's where I'm at. Too much offensive firepower in this conference at this point versus your offensive firepower. And that's where I'm stuck at on with Detroit, is I just don't believe in them, never have.
Well, I firmly disagree with Detroit. I mean, it's just simply a bad matchup. They played a team that's the only team that'll get dirty with them.
I mean, I don't think the
Cavaliers don't outscore Pistons. You don't think they outscore them 4 out of 7
Cavaliers
times.
did not play good enough defense. Everybody else can get in the game, and then they'll probably.
But you think
make
Detroit?
Draymond
You think Detroit has that good of a?
I think
offense that
Cleveland
they would
could beat them.
capitalize
I
off of
think
something
Cleveland
like
would still beat them, but I don't think it'd be no. I think Cleveland would beat Detroit, but I don't think it'd be that easy.
It's
Unless
not
they're
gonna be a
just a real
shootout.
physical team, they can just they'll foul with you. But
Okay, foul with me, but I'm saying when it come down to it, if I got 130, can you put up 130? If I put up 120, if I put up 170,
hey, Cavs done gave up some 120, 130 points to some bad teams.
But see, this thing that I say for them, like I don't think that Detroit is made for that. Detroit is made as a team that plays aggressive defense and depends on them basically smothering you to where they don't have to score a lot. If they try to play towards the Magic play, where like, okay, we're gonna measure up talent versus talent and try to score as much as you, they're not gonna win that way because they're just not made to score that way. This is not how their team is. Like,
I think Detroit do the same thing. I mean, Orlando do the same thing.
Like, to be fair, the Magic have 3 players that if they got like a good offensive night, they got 3 players that can score 30 points. The Pistons don't have 3 players that on a good offensive night can respectfully you would expect to score 30 points. They have maybe 2, and I'm giving Durant a lot of respect by saying maybe 2. K can get you 30.
If you don't get the ball, the
other 3 couldn't. Like the other people on their team would have to go monstrous to expect them to go 30 points. Like Durant showed that he can do it, but they can't measure up to them trying to score offensively, and that's not how they're gonna win. The problem is trying to be dirty down in the trenches. That's what Orlando does. They play dirty down in the trenches, so that's just not how they're gonna work. That's not gonna work a lot of them either.
They're like, this is what we like to do. What you mean?
No, it ain't gonna work on Orlando. They have to out scheme the Magic and out defend the Magic without trying to be dirty down in the trenches with them. Because that's just not gonna go. Like Paolo Banchero will sit there and elbow somebody if he needs to. Now he ain't gonna try to do to hurt nobody. But I'm like, look, you do not want to go down the trenches with Orlando. That ain't not how you gonna.
I saw Wendell Carter getting Isaiah Stewart's face and like, what you gonna do? He got like this. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm a bully too. What's up? Wendell Carter had 14 to 17 on Stewart too, and Stewart got the game. He didn't play no more when he got in there. I'm like, my boy walked straight to it and said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "Oh, I ain't see nobody tell Isaiah Stewart that." Orlando said, "I'm about to." And they got players on Orlando got players on the bench that would just come off the bench and just get a real quick flagrant that they don't need.
Tobias I think Tobias got the same issue that Adam Eve has. He got some kind of chip in his brain that keeps him from using his full potential to score more than 23 points. Because dude can score 35 a game. Like, that's the thing about Tobias. He can score 35 a game. And he will not score more than 23.
I don't know if Tobias got it in right now to score 35.
I think mentally he just won't do it. But I mean, I
don't know if he can do that. Even in his prime years with the 76ers, when they had him and Butler and the rest of them, like in his prime years, he really wasn't scoring 30.
He was supposed, but he can. He can. I just think he has a mental block.
He does the same 3 moves over and over again. He goes to the left corner, he shoots a fadeaway, and he does it repeatedly. And once you figure it out, you be like, oh, he just gonna just like Seguin, which I will talk about in a minute. But Seguin, I got major problem with Seguin because he pissed me off.
I'm done with this series. So if you want to take off,
it's Delmay's time to go for the other series. You know, you got
go for
Cavaliers, Toronto. Shout out to the rookie. I don't really care about that series. Who cares? Cleveland gonna win. Knicks, Atlanta. Yo, they giving Cat the ball, and that's all they need to do. Get in the paint, big boy, and actually bang. Because other than that, if Cat ain't banging, Jalen Johnson the best player in the series. 76ers versus Boston. Listen, I appreciate y'all, but we just got to hope Boston missed a lot of threes like they did and go 13 for 50. But other than that, we really ain't got a shot in that series. Unless VJ go for 30 and they go 13 for 50, then I think we'll be good. Unless Embiid come back, then we got more of a shot. But until then, or waiting for that is crazy.
Do you have any flowers to give to Andre Drummond right now?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
I just thought I'd take you on that.
My question for you for that is just them 31 shots from Maxey. I don't see that being the way to win.
This is my boy Max out here giving it his all.
31 for 31.
That's not your all. That is jacking up.
31. How many times you see somebody take 31 shots in the game?
31 for 31 ain't the way to win, bro.
You're like, these niggas suck. Let me shoot every shot.
31 for 31. And Paul George wasn't even playing bad. Paul George was 50%.
Yeah.
Like, he was playing fine. It's just 31 for 31 is not the way to get
He
it.
took his medicine.
You score 30. You shoot 31 times. You need 50 points. So
31 times with Paul George on the floor? Not okay. If I'm Paul George, I got a problem with that in that locker room. I'm sorry.
Paul George ain't got no problem nowhere. You know why we are 7 seed? Because that nigga decided to take steroids.
Which is why you give him the ball right now.
He got 25 games he missed that we could have won games and be a 5 seed.
He the freshest player.
We out here got steroids.
He's
He
the
doing 360 windmills.
I ain't gonna say give him the ball. I was saying last night he was playing well. So the justification that nobody else is playing well is why he took 31 shots. I don't necessarily agree with that. When he seemed to be playing solid.
That part.
You know, so now, like I said, that was him.
They're gonna test him again if he played too well.
I was thinking about saying VJ Edgecombe was playing horrible, so I ain't gonna give it to that one.
VJ got to make open shots, but here, youngster, so we see.
Well, continue,
listen,
also, shout out to Kid Creed on.
What's up, cuz? Real quick, Paul George is fresh off a compound V in 25 games of rest. This nigga
should gonna test him again, bro.
This nigga should have 20 shots a game. What are you saying? Nigga's fresh off a compound V. Come on, bro.
What's that?
We're letting Zell get his spiel on for the rest of the games. Me and Unico done talked about all the games, right? So Zell get his spiel on, and you can get your spiel on afterwards.
Okay, yes, sir. Then we're gonna go OKC Phoenix. Booker get tired every second half because they be running the ball. By the way, shout out to Michael Green. He way faster than I thought he was at that size. So shout out to him for playing well and not trying to make up for Houston last year, but they have no shot against OKC. Minnesota, Denver. It's a reason Denver tried to avoid that 3 seed. It's a reason why they hate that team. They hate playing that team. They hate seeing that team, and they avoid it. Like, give us the Rockets. Can we lose on purpose first? Like, nah, you coming over here, my boy. So, listen, if Aaron Gordon ain't gonna play, they don't have no hope because they don't play no defense. Like my boy Jaden McDaniel said, it's like running through. It's like running cones with that whole defense. And I said, hey, he just said this out loud with no care where. he says, it's like ain't nobody on that team can play defense. I'm like, oh. So they need Aaron Gordon back. If he ain't getting back, this might be a 3-1 game at the end of the night. So we see that. Houston got to be the dumbest team I ever seen in my life. That got to be the. They got up 6 points with 32 seconds, and they got the ball. If I told y'all that, what would y'all say? If I said I got the ball in my hands, full shot clock, 32 seconds, up 6.
I would first ask, who are you playing against?
Game supposed to be over.
I don't care who you playing against. You got to
ask who you playing against first.
It don't matter. Game supposed to be over, bro.
Because if you got LeBron involved, I'm just going
to be over.
I told him earlier in the game that I did cut the game off, y'all. So I'm just playing. But
that is listen, that's only happened once, and that was with an 8 seed versus a 1 seed, and it wasn't even as bad. This man had the ball in his hand with nobody in front of him, and threw the ball to a man guarded by Marcus Smart. And I'm like, why did you pass the ball? Why you just didn't take the foul? By the way, I looked it up. The person with the ball in his hand is the best free throw shooter on the court with Reed Shepherd. And Tate is the worst free throw shooter on the court. And you pass the ball.
Was Reed Shepherd in the game?
Huh?
Yeah, Reed Shepherd got that turnover. He was responsible for wetting the bed.
No.
The
first turnover. The first turnover.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, he was on the side though.
Yeah.
So you got everybody on the court.
Because I know Jabari. I seen Jabari. I see Amen. I seen Taylor.
Amen Thompson, Shingun, and Tara Easton. I think that was there. Something like that.
That was there. Okay.
And he threw it to the worst free throw shooter in the court with a man on him. And I'm like, just shoot the free throw.
You know what happened, bro? The problem was the point guard needed to come up and get the ball, bro. Soon as the rebound come, just do the old thing. Whoever were playing point enough to dribble, they supposed to come up and get the ball because Jabari not a point guard and he don't need to be dribbling.
Hey, you gotta do that. You gotta do like that. Hold it. You gotta be one of them.
Just hold the ball and wait till somebody come and get it. Yep.
I don't care if we get 8 seconds, because if you go 8 seconds, we at least get it down to 24 seconds.
Yep.
Because they at 32 seconds right now. So even if we get an 8-second violation, we gonna have to shoot free throws at the end of the game instead of having 1 second to not shoot free throws.
And then on top of that, even if the Lakers get the ball back, you at least get to play a solid defense, bro. Instead of doing some crazy stuff like he did.
Not only that, Tate go out there and foul Marcus Smart on a 3 with 25 seconds left. And I'm like, why you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? He knocked all three down.
That boy ain't gonna play for nobody ever again.
And me and Wes was talking on the phone while this was happening. I said, ain't no way in hell you foul because they gonna do something stupid. We were talking on the phone and literally said this while the play was going on. I'm like, he gonna do something stupid because that's what they do. And
Somebody
instead of
about to
holding
do
the
something
ball,
stupid,
instead of holding the ball up 3, my man tried to dribble with LeBron on him and got it poked away.
Between
I've
two
never
people.
seen LeBron ever do a behind the sneak reach
Back tap.
from behind. I've never seen him do that.
Because he don't play that hard. He don't play that hard.
Never.
By the way, if you play basketball and you catch the ball and you turn and the dude on your right shoulder, you go left hand if he behind you. And look like that. You're supposed to do the shoulder lean like that. Where's no one talking about the point guard? Wait, what you do? The shoulder lean because he on that side, and then you look beside him to make sure they can't. That's what you do as a basic. You learn that in high school. Yeah, whatever shoulder do behind you on, you go the opposite way to make sure they can't get the ball. If they go that way,
You know what messed him up? After he passed LeBron, he put his focus on Smart. And then he forgot LeBron was still behind him. In your mind, you like, LeBron ain't going to keep running.
Exactly. I wouldn't have thought that either. At
He
that
kept
point, I was
running.
so surprised to see him pull that because I was like,
And you know why he kept running? Because his ass messed up earlier and had them 2 bad turnovers.
He did.
I saw you mention that. Oh, just a quick update. Jalen Brunson has gone to the back.
He had 2 bad turnovers, and he was trying to make up.
And Atlanta has cut the lead down to 10.
He gone to the back. What, you talking about
Yeah, he got hurt.
Oh, shoot, it's over.
CJ
gone to the back.
Oh, CJ sensed it now.
It's over with. No Brunson, they can't win.
It's an ankle.
No Brunson, they can't win.
But
He pulled up.
Right
CJ pulled up already.
But
no Brunson, they can't win.
But again, I got a problem with you, my boy. You played great last night.
Alfred.
But if you don't stop that spin move and bring that ball down every time you do it and get it
Bringing the ball down low, bro.
If you go spin move and bring the ball as a 7-footer in here, Marcus Smart got 2 steals, LeBron got 3 off the same play, and you keep doing it. It don't work.
Why you keep doing that, bro?
Stop bringing the ball down.
It's like he keep bringing a server plate out like this. Like, what you doing, bro?
Oh. Like, you see it in front of you. He put it right in your face. What you supposed to do? Steal it.
And where does he always spin back to? He always spins back to the paint. Every time. You know where he's spinning to every time.
Yep.
Bro, one time he did a spin and he had who he have on him? He had Marcus Smart on him in the paint. And he spent on Marcus Smart instead of just dunking on him. He spent into LeBron and got it stolen.
Going up, yeah.
And I'm like, why do you
LeBron
keep
stole
doing
it, yep.
And as Ime said on the last play to go before overtime, he decided to do his own play and do a spin to the outside and shoot a floater and hit the side of the goal. Listen, there's something wrong with this team. It's right. I don't care how athletic everybody nowadays is. A lot of these players have a very low IQ basketball IQ. And we saw it in a lot of games. Because I'm like, why you keep doing something that don't work? Most players they go to the same spots and do the same move. We see this in every game.
Hey,
Tobias Harris go to the left corner.
it's making sense. It's making sense now, bro. When LeBron said, bro, it's a lot of people playing in the NBA. They ain't smart. They just in here because they tall. And they gonna make sense now, bro. They just in here because they tall, bro, because they ain't got no sense. Most of that stuff they were doing is just.
Alfred was the number 1. He was the point guard
They
for
were doing
most of
high
the
school
season.
stuff, bro. And it's like, bro, come on. Whoa.
He learned nothing. Alfred learned nothing this whole time playing point guard this whole season,
crazy.
basically.
He ain't a point guard. I keep telling you that. Hey, y'all,
You ain't
not a
learned
point
nothing?
guard.
I'm tired of seeing
This is why it still matter. You are not a point guard.
Joker isn't either, but somehow he.
Joker is a point forward. That man's he's a point center. That man's a point guard. He's a point center. He's like one of the few examples of that in NBA history.
But
It's not the same.
Yeah.
But like, no, Sengun
Hey.
is not a point. Especially Sengun
That boy-
is young
that boy-
in the NBA himself. Like he's young himself.
that's crazy. I don't know why he keep bringing that ball down though.
His mind ain't there yet as far as basketball awareness.
He's gonna be European. Europeans normally don't do this. I just seen the same play just happen right there when they dribble the ball in their right hand when the dude behind him on his right side. It just happened.
Alvarado got him.
Quit. If the dude
Alvarado
behind you
got
on
him.
your right side, you don't dribble on your right side. I feel like anybody can do that now. You just do it because
Grand
they
Theft Auto.
ain't got no awareness to not a player. Stop doing it. By the way, last game.
Go for it. That's what I'm waiting for. Let's talk
Shout
about
out to my boy. It took the second half. Wes was on the phone with me too during this when I was like, why Fox got the ball in his hand, not Dylan Harper? I'm upset. I turned the game off. Got upset. I said, Fox is bad for my mental health. and then about 4 minutes in, they gave Harper the ball. And Dylan Harper
That boy went crazy.
He went crazy. All I know is my boy Scoot said something to him, and the game wasn't the same no more. I don't know what Scoot said to him.
I told him, I like, bro, if y'all struggle with the next game or anything, like De'Aaron Fox struggle something, that man might get benched for the rest of the series. He might come off the bench. But I'm sorry, you ain't finna sit here and have Dylan Harper and you ain't finna have Harper and Castle both dang near giving me 30, and you over here struggling doing with the job you supposed. This is what we got you for. We got you to be the secondary main scorer star alongside Wemby at times like this. And Harper and Castle are both outdoing you.
And they scored 60, and you missed
You come off the bench. Like, this next game, we were talking about Dylan Brooks' legacy game. You know, we were talking about you nigga. This is De'Aaron Fox legacy game. If you do not have a good offensive showing, bro, you coming off the bench the rest of the series. Possibly the rest of the playoffs. Because I'm just not going to sit here with 2 30-point scores almost. And you sitting here struggling. Nah, Sway. Not against the Trailblazers? No, sir. No, sir.
No, then you don't play defense either, so it's not like you adding something on it. And they both play defense well too. Harper and Castle play defense very well, and you don't. So you was made for scoring, and you just shoot this stupid fadeaway and never make
fadeaway, bro.
He never make it.
Oh my!
Like Maxi stupid fadeaway.
Maxi makes it.
He makes 7 of them.
That's what we were saying. I was telling Trevor, like, at least T Maxi gets space off of his fadeaway. When Fox shoot his, some people be contesting, but he shoots over the top of them. But he shoot that fadeaway almost every time he try to get a shot. It's the fadeaway, bro. And it's like, bro, that can't be your go-to shot every single time.
He shot it wide by himself when he was in the goal against Denver. He shot it by himself under goal with nobody around him. Instead of doing that, he shot it,
bro. I was at the game. He missed that, bro. I was like, oh my God,
bro, you just shot a fadeaway with nobody in front of you.
A fadeaway, 2 feet away from the goal, bro. Like, what are you doing? Just lay it up.
By the way, referee, I don't know what y'all be doing with Denny, but y'all be letting him bull rush everybody through the game. I have never seen that man threw Vassell across the court and they call a foul on Vassell. I'm like, what are you supposed to do? The dude drop his shoulder into his chest and just go.
Okay.
To be fair, De'Aaron Fox ain't really had no winning culture since he's been in the league. So this is first time where he's actually got some kind of pressure to win. So maybe he got to get used to that a little bit. I mean, he came from
Harper's 20 years old and he played amazing.
They came into a
winning pressure that year. They were placing the year they faced the Golden State Warriors in that 7-game series. They eventually losing. He had pressure all that time. They came to short.
I'm saying
as a member of the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, they played.
They played that 1 year. They was winning. They was like what, top 3?
What did nobody really expect for Sacramento?
That was a top 3 seed. By the way, to your point, the number 1 seed in the East. Number 1 seed in the East always technically bad because Boston always number 2 and they be winning. The number 1 seed in the East. You remember when the Cavs would win every year? Toronto was always the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Nobody ever expected Toronto. It's because in the East, the team don't be caring about getting first place because it don't. To them, it don't matter. In the West, you got to get first place because you want home because everybody tough. In the East, you get first. Boston,
everybody tough.
If we play them, we can beat them in Detroit.
We can beat them. We seeing it now. Everybody getting beat.
Yeah, you can see all the home teams. Just Cleveland. Oh, we got them in the second. It don't matter. In the West, you're like, yo, dog, game 7, we want to be at home.
Yeah, they thinking long term in the way.
Yeah, we gotta be home in the East. He's like,
Mhm.
we can beat them at home. We can beat them at their hometown. And the East always been like that. Cleveland used to let Toronto get the first seed. I'm like, Toronto get first seed because they play hard all the time. And when they get swept by LeBron every time. They just play
Crazy
hard.
thing is, they were playing hard too. It just didn't matter.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
didn't
they
matter.
had the players needed.
There's a difference between regular
They
season
didn't.
play hard.
They didn't have no players, bro.
Like, I'm sorry, having DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry is not the same as having LeBron
Kawhi.
James and Kawhi.
If they
Leonard.
had Kawhi, bro,
LeBron
it would have
James
been
and
straight.
Kyrie Irving. That's just LeBron and Kyrie. This is not the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
bro.
West, you
That
just-
one
you
year,
ain't
that
talking.
one year they didn't though. It was just LeBron by himself, and he still
Yeah, he still
smoked
beat him in
bro.
4. He still beat him in 4.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
when they had 60 wins. That was
Yeah,
six-
man,
that was
the East is a
60
lot of
wins.
teams. The first seed usually just a team that just play hard and then they don't never get better in the playoff because they play hard they can in the regular season. So they ain't really like, oh, we got to go to another level. Dog, we playing our best. Well, that's like my boy Ocho said. She told me to go deeper. That's all I can go.
That's all I had.
That's all I had. But right now, you asking the Trump play better. It's the playoffs. We played the
That's all I
hardest the
had.
whole season. That's
Hey,
all I
look, hey, that's exactly what Toronto said. They like, bro, we were playing the best we could, and this man just doing all types of shots off the top of the glass.
To end off this wonderful show, I will ask all of y'all the same question. Right now, like y'all will give it to Kid Creep first. Right now, what one team is under the most pressure? Right now.
Oh, the most pressure. I'm gonna probably go with the Knicks, bro.
They playing right
I'm
now.
gonna go with the Knicks. On their head right now.
I ain't gonna lie, it might be.
Yeah, everybody.
I'm still,
They
I'm watching.
ain't letting them boy man.
I'm watching WWE and they making fun of the Knicks right now, dog. I'm watching Dan Houser make fun of the Knicks. How about them Knicks, Stephen A? I'm like, dang. Every show I look at, they making fun of the Knicks.
Is Dan Houser worse
Everybody
than
on their head, they under pressure.
Know what I'm saying?
Little B curse
Everybody.
is prevalent.
No, I'm gonna say Detroit, but they just gotta steal a game. And they can come back.
They
Nobody really have-
they got that
nobody
pressure on
care
their
about
head,
Detroit.
bro.
New York
Detroit has zero pressure. Nobody expects them to win. I'm sorry. There's
but the
zero
Knicks, everybody. It don't even mean the Knicks
Yeah.
got. It's just because they in New York that people just put pressure.
Yeah,
on.
it's the New York pressure, not necessarily that we have the craziest master station for the Knicks.
And now they cursed too, thanks to Dan Houser. So
Yeah.
now Stephen A.
Like, that's like
y'all don't
social
know how
media
much pressure,
pressure.
Monterey. You don't know how much pressure on the Knicks. Go under Stephen A.'s post about the curse with Dan Houser when he showed the red face, and watch how many Knicks fans cuss him out for not apologizing.
I'm going to that now on Twitter.
If I have to go with another team other than Knicks, I'm just gonna say the Nuggets because y'all had championship predictions and aspirations, and everybody was looking forward to this Spurs Knicks 7-game series just for y'all to get blasted by the Timberwolves. with
Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards that may not be 100% and freaking.
Oh,
really
he
good.
ain't no mate. He limping. He is limping in game.
Oh, I say y'all getting nah, bro. Like I'm looking at them like, hey, y'all can't lose round 1 to injured Anthony Edwards and freaking Rudy Gobert with 7 points a game. You even sit here and say
Bro,
tell me
that's
that y'all
bad,
can't
bro.
Nah.
That's bad, bro.
But,
You can't have it.
but to be fair, as soon as I said Aaron Gordon went down, I said they don't got nobody to play
But
defense.
they do need Gordon. Like I said, they need Gordon. Gordon just
They don't have a soul to play defense. They don't have
No.
one player that's gonna give effort on defense.
Murray isn't consistent enough on offense to be able to depend on him respectively. Like
And he's
he's
played
always
well
been that
too,
way.
and he's still losing.
He's always been that way though. Like I mean, last game he only had 16, 17 points. Like he's always been that way. He's always been hot or cold. Aaron Gordon's been a super army knife. Whatever they need, he's normally there. Like if you rebound, defending, he can do that. If you need somebody to give you 20 points, he can do that. Like he's normally there. So I mean,
Is he playing tonight?
I don't know.
They still ain't said, hold up, ESPN notification. Nope, it ain't them. I thought it was him because they coming up next, right? And
they had 7:30 or something. But I think right now they dominate on.
Oh, they just said they did something 37 minutes ago. Let's see what they said.
Oh, in the
David Adelman fielding questions on Aaron Gordon availability for game 4. If he plays, we'll have to see how it goes. I just passed him in the hall, so he's getting ready to play. But anything can happen in the next hour. It's still questionable. So 37 minutes ago, it's still questionable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll just see how that
ready, bro.
I had some more. I got
Without
some
him,
more.
they probably losing tonight too. I ain't gonna lie.
I think
Jalen
so,
Brunson
too,
is coming back into the game, but I also want to drop some other breaking news before we get out of here. This is Unico with the T. Megan Thee Stallion issued statements regarding breakup with Klay Thompson. There are cheating allegations. She said that she's made the decision to end her relationship with Klay. She made an Instagram post official, put it on her story. Ends her relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable in a relationship, even though she is a proven thought. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path. Had her playing house, but he was cheating the whole time, making that man spaghetti. That Louisiana voodoo spaghetti trick did not work on Klay. He said, I'm still in the streets. That is the update that I got.
I still want to know if he's cheating because she said two different things. Because she said he was cheating. Then she turned around and said he asked her he said he don't know if he could be monogamous, which don't mean he cheated. That just means I want to cheat.
No, that could mean he cheated. She was willing to put over if he was willing to be 100% with her. He was like,
change it back. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this.
Say, hey, I don't want to do this.
I don't know if I can just stick with you going forward.
He gave her the option.
I don't know if I can stick with you going forward, to be honest.
Yo, by the way, she West did tell me something that I looked it up. She used to be like, he's such a nice, humble young man. I like what I'm used to dealing with. I'm like, she got to play your light skin ass.
You got an NBA basketball card.
She thought you was a sweet light skinned mixed nigga.
Yeah, she tried to get a little nigga she can get over on and do all this weird stuff. Who's gonna be like, oh, it's all good.
Because
I got a question.
She fed that nigga spaghetti with the tomatoes, and that nigga ain't never had that. That nigga was confused.
Because of her history, I don't think she's gonna get a lot of sympathy online.
I don't think she getting no sympathy. She's not getting no sympathy. Let's not bring in the little guy that's in prison right now. We're not even gonna bring his name up. But I also have another question: Is Klay mixed? Because she did bring up, I was holding you down through all your horrible mood swings, and we know them mixed brothers, they get a little angry.
You ever heard of Michael Turner with a white woman?
Well, I mean, mood swings, man done had a horrible season this year. It ain't like I'm surprised he had mood swings. You know, man had some horrible year this year. But
yeah, his mama pretty white.
I was just saying, like, hey, with mood swings, you ain't surprised. Did they
thought about it like, well, if mama's
might be the whitest person,
maybe just us being together.
White woman
said his poor play it might incite DV vibes.
His mama like the stereotypical white woman from LA. Michael, he know what he doing.
Oh yeah,
Julie is the most like this is like white woman you saw in Hollywood back when we were little.
Dang, they didn't make it. So they barely made it one full NBA season. Dang,
they didn't make the season.
Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be over in 6 months. When 6 months came, I'm like, oh, they lasted longer than 6 months, bro.
Well, you know, that was in the middle of the season. He doing a lot of traveling and stuff of that nature. And then I was he's like, oh, why you still traveling like you out there in the NBA? Oh, you know, I got a team meeting, you know, up in Atlanta this weekend, so I gotta go shoot out to there right quick. Ain't got no damn team.
Oh, she getting to see the real.
Wait, man, don't listen to these niggas. If you give me one of them, you go back to them Instagram video, you shake, I forgive you.
Hey, he going. Hey, we
don't rock with Joe when he talk about that stuff with women.
She's showing him future Hall of Famer Klay Thompson right now. That's what he's showing her. He's like, this is what it is. This is what's gonna happen because now I ain't got nothing but free time and I have no excuses.
I'm
Twitter,
Twitter be investigating. I know they be lying. They saying Twitter, by the way, I think this is most of the lie, but Twitter saying he cheated with Lexi Brown, which is crazy because he unfollowed Lexi Brown too.
Oh wow.
Y'all just made that shit. Y'all picked up the one person y'all know.
We'll ride it out. Nico Williams.
I hope Lexi ain't moving like that.
No, it could have been my homegirl, Kelsey Mitchell. Could have been her. But anyway, hey, Unico Williams, UNIQO Williams, you know you can catch me with a short or a reel, no matter the circumstance, I'm coming, okay? Lakers all day long / LeBron all day long. But YouTube, we got the Michael review. The full review will be coming tonight. I'm gonna do that for you tonight because I think that my reel was not enough. I need to give this movie its flowers for what it is. Y'all tripping about how y'all want a full-blown story that we heard a million times. We only gonna watch Batman get shot, parents get shot in the alley so many times. Let's talk about something.
You watch Uncle Ben?
What you said?
You done did Uncle Ben 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, we're cool off that. We get it. Uncle Ben's dead. Let's move on. Okay, so we don't need to know.
Ben dead, bro.
And who I wish we could have got another who put the towel in the pool moment. I definitely wanted to see that again. But nonetheless, Michael Tremaine,
Hey,
Tito. What you said?
They screaming that there's gonna be a part 2.
Oh, it is. We're gonna get Michael, and then it's gonna be in black and white, and then it's going. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But yeah, Unico Williams, UNIQO Williams. Yeah. Yeah.
We have to go to the Alpha.
What's I'm Alpha? It's your brother Alpha Zell May. Keep it 99. We got Euphoria tomorrow. Y'all know Daredevil Tuesday. Only the boys on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we got Casual Conversations. The week's a little lighter now, but then Friday, I don't think it's going to be much, but I'll come up with something throughout the week, get some more shorts and things. So looking forward to that. Keep stomping over on 99media.org. Something amazing.
And of course, we have Kid Cree himself. He only
Damn, nigga, where can they find you?
Y'all know what's going on. We'll be back in
Nigga
a
don't
couple
like
days.
that. You don't find
What happened?
No, you just like this the screen.
Yeah,
I said,
I
damn,
do
nigga,
not
where can
like
they
that.
find you?
He don't want you nigga find him. Over
Hey,
on
man,
99media.
Kid Creative Play on all platforms, baby. But you won't catch me on there. I don't like nobody. I'm like J. Cole and I'll pop up here and there. You catch me, you better catch me on the show with Monray now. With Monray,
All right.
Zell, man, Unico.
My boy like the road runner. Catch him when you can.
Hey, that's all right.
Otherwise, it's your boy Monray Hudson. It says Monray Hudson, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, as it still exists. And of course, on Make It Make Sense. The podcast, Saturdays, let you know what's going on in the world, entertaining things. I also need to speak to y'all after the show. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Of course, that's how it goes. Good luck to your teams because might get ugly.